Hi guys, George Glinski here from Toe the Line, joined today by Eric Olsen. Eric, how you doing, mate?
All right, how are you? Hello.
Yeah, good, man. I guess the normal place to start really would be, how exactly did you get into BKB?
I got into BKB when I got out of prison. I seen a Dice documentary on company with Jimmy McCory fighting, and I was just hanging out, eating dinner, watching it, and I was like, well, that's easy enough. I mean, that's all I end up doing pretty much on a daily basis when I was locked up, is getting in fist fights with people. So I sent them an email. I think I seen the documentary twice. I think I didn't send it the first time. The second time I was like, all right, I got to get on this. I sent them an email saying I'd fight McCory, I'd fight whoever, because why not, right? And Jim answered back with, yeah, well, we've had some issues with American fighters. This one coward, Billy Martin, didn't show up, and he took money from them. So he was like, pay for your own ticket and get yourself a passport, and we'll see if you're serious. So I said, all right. So I went and I sold like 20 pounds of weed because I had to pay for my ticket, my apartment while I was gone, and I had to have spending money over there. And I wasn't working at the time. I was just fucking doing what I do to make money. And then I got back to him and was like, yo. And he's like, all right. So they matched me with Nathan and Lisa in Coventry for the first one. And I come over alone, just walked around England. Was like, yo, I'm Eric, professional kickboxer from New York, fighting bare knuckle boxing. How much to spar? So I was moving around like that. That was it. That's the start of it.
And you've been in BKB for quite some time, actually. You were there before it turned into BKB trademark. Obviously, you're talking about how you fought Nathan Leeson and Peter Radford in the pre-BKB area back in UB-Bad.
Yes.
Amongst the, I think it's 8 opponents, you're 4-4, if I'm correct in saying that?
Yeah, 4-4.
So amongst those opponents, you've been known in the past for having a fantastic chin. A question I haven't
I don't
seen...
really get hit much.
No, you don't tend to get hit much. But to in a question of that chin, who do you think out of all of those guys has tested that chin the most? Who's hit the hardest?
Nelda.
Who, sorry?
Ricky Nelda.
Ricky Nelda, of course.
Yeah. Even so, if you watch the Nelda fight, when we were in the first round, you know, he landed 1 or 2 shots, even though I dominated that round with the knockdown and the slipping. But he just is one of those people that is natural power. And he'll hit you once and it feels like 10 shots in one. Very, very strong puncher. And that fight was ended. It wasn't because of the cut, what people seem to think. Yes, he gashed me above my eye after I broke his cheekbone. He got up. The second punch dug into my eye socket. His knuckle pushed my eyeball back. So when the doctor was talking to me, he held up 2 fingers on the left side. And I went to grab the ropes, and I didn't see it, and I couldn't depth perception the rope. So when he's like, you want to continue, I nod my head, yes, but there was no depth perception. The whole left eye was gone because his knuckle had sunk it into my head. So it wasn't the cut. It was the lack of vision from the eye. Yeah, definitely Ricky. Ricky hit your shoulders and you feel like your skeleton's breaking.
Trying, do you know why they use a chair to try to mesmerize a lion? Because there's a left hook. It's because the human eye is distracted by. Oh, there's a hard shot.
What a shot!
So you've fought 8 opponents now, some very difficult tests, including 2 fights with Sean George, one of the greatest bare knuckle boxers of all time. Where do you feel your next opponent, Dom Clark, fits into the order of difficulty there?
It's not difficult. I mean, in all fairness, Sean wasn't difficult.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch the Sean fights, he didn't hit me. The first fight, we were round for a round. Didn't land a punch on me. We went into the last round. He punched my arms a bunch, and he didn't stop coming, and he's got a really good jaw. Didn't land a punch on me. They cut the round in half. The last round of the first fight was chopped in half by a full minute. I don't know why, and then they gave him the win. Again, we were even going into the third round, and they cut it in half, and instead of it being a no contest, they said he won. And then the second fight, I didn't get really punched again either, and I turned his face inside out. But he's a good fighter. He just wasn't difficult. I think me and his style complements because he's real aggressive, and I like to slip. I think Dom would lose to Sean. I think Sean is definitely one of the top-tier fighters, and he's grown exponentially since I fought him. again, that's not an insult to Sean saying he didn't hit me. That's the judges and the refs and all that stuff. Like, he's just a fighter fighting me. He's my friend. And when I say he wasn't difficult, it's because I wasn't getting punched by him. You know what I mean? Nelder was difficult because I was getting punched by him. I think Clark is, I don't know, he's tough. And doesn't have a history of combat sports like Sean did. So Sean's a fighter forever. Dom's a rugby player who got into fighting, and he's a Primark model, right? So Dom's cool. He's cool. I don't think he's going to be an issue, though. I don't underestimate him. I mean, it's a fight. Anything can happen. People think I underestimate people. No, I just don't underestimate myself. I know that when I turn up and I'm actually on, I know what I'm capable of doing. I mean, everyone saw me fucking snuff out Ricky in the first round. I mean, how many people hit Ricky and drop him? And how many people get hit by me like that and get up? None. Know what I'm saying? So he's just as tough as I can hit, just as hard. So I don't think Clark's be able to take what I give him.
Yeah, and just to go more onto Clark, I mean, obviously this is all mental warfare and all that, but I've noticed in this fight there is, compared to a fight like Greg Main, for example, there's not much animosity there. Is that a mutual respect going up through the mixed martial arts?
Yeah, well, Greg's an annoying motherfucker. I mean, he's cool, and don't get me wrong, I don't really dislike him, but he's delusional, and he's kind of annoying. He can fight, he can punch, but he just likes to troll, and I guess that's part of it for him because he's so fucking boring that he needs to do something to hype the fight. I've known Dom for years, and me and Dom see each other, and we're cool with each other, so I don't want to, like, say anything like, I think I'll beat Dom. I think if we fought 10 times, I'd win 10 times. It's not an insult. I'm sure he thinks the same thing. But I've also been real busy with my own personal things, like a lot of dramas going on in my personal life. So I kind of just been blanked out, like trying to focus on training and not going to prison for 20 years at the moment. So, like, a lot of that stuff with the trash talking isn't there. One, because I know him and he's friendly with me. And two, because I've got enough things I'm dealing with on my end over here in real life that are consuming a lot of that time. So basically, if I'm just training a lot and doing stuff for work, and then, you know, still trying to get some people I don't like in my crosshairs and fucking blow their heads off. So that's that with that. Yeah, I respect them, though.
Course, yeah. And you touched briefly on there about training. How has training been leading up to this fight?
It's good. I stopped sparring for a few years. I really didn't spar much because I got so many injuries over the years sparring. I've got a lot of pro fights. Got like almost like 30 pro fights in kickboxing and MMA and BKB and whatever. I got hurt a lot with sparring because we just sparring with other pros, and it's an off day, you get like a concussion or something. But now I've decided, like, all my trainings come back to sparring like 3 times a week. Not super hard, not super light, hard enough that you're not going to get fucking, it's not a walkthrough. And I've been moving just with boxers right now. A lot of the other times I would like cross train and like MMA and grappling. I've been staying away from that. I mean, that's good for your cardio, but I've been just going back to boxing. So it's been good. I'm going to go spar again today at 3:45. I'm at the gym now. When I get off the phone with you, I'll do some like circuit stuff. The biggest issue with these fights isn't the fighters. It's the weight cutting. Because Jim likes to do this same day weigh-in thing. And he also loves setting my fights all at 190 pounds. So, you know, I agree to it. So I guess, you know, that's what I should be walking around, not 16.8 stone or whatever. So that's that.
And you again, you speak about the weight cut there. What are you walking around at the moment?
Right now I'm like 93 kilograms.
Heavy.
I'm usually about, like, I don't know what it is in kilograms, 98, 99.
Yeah, about that, yeah.
But that's also relative to how I'm training. A lot of the times I won't train very hard and I don't diet much. So if I'm lifting a lot, like doing like crazy deadlifts and squats and really not running and not sparring and just eating everything I see, yes, then I'll be like 16.6. Great for terrorizing society. Not great for fighting in a ring against someone who's been training for 5 rounds. That's like the Nelder scenario. You got 1 round in you, but yeah. And then you just are fucking shot after that. So I've been taking it real seriously. I've been regimenting my diet again. My friend Brianna Wick and her boyfriend Alex Bedosian, they do a lot of like personal fitness stuff, and they've been like, I pay them, they cook me meals and everything like that. So I got like regimented things, like what I'm supposed to be eating.
Awesome. And another question, something I've asked a few fighters off camera, but not so much on camera. How much training do you exactly do with the bare knuckle itself without the gloves?
No, I don't. So there's this preconceived notion that bare knuckle fighters run around punching like trees and buildings with no gloves on. I don't. I don't use wrist wraps when I spar, very rarely, or when I do bag work. And I stopped using wrist wraps years ago because like a weight belt. Let's say I'm doing deadlifts with a weight belt. That'll help me, but it also weakens my core. So I used to notice from when I just used to get into street fights and fights in jail, I'd bash somebody's face in and my fucking wrist would be sore. Like, why the fuck's it so sore? I didn't break anything. It's because like you're taping yourself up, so you're weakening all that. So I'll do tons of bag work and mitt work without the wrist wraps on. So it makes my hands like stronger and or used to the trauma. And I also have to pick my shots better, because if I'm not all taped up hitting a bag, you can roll your wrist, hurt yourself. So I save my hands. I have the boxing gloves on, but I don't put the wrist wraps under it. So it makes it a little more like my hands used to getting hit without that big cushion on, if that makes any sense. But as far as boxing goes, it would still be all the same type of like flip movement drills. I have a real weird style of fighting. If you've noticed, like I kind of hit at some weird angles and I don't get punched, but I'll stand in front of somebody. I still do a lot of that stuff. I try to preserve my hands. I've got so many fucking fights. My hands kind of hurt on a daily basis. So I definitely have like good gloves. I just really will go without the wrist wraps for a good portion of stuff, and that strengthens the wrists up, I feel.
Fantastic. So finally, I mean, I'll let you get on because obviously you're near training. But
you can talk for a few more minutes. I've been waiting. No, I got a job that I make a lot of money with, so I can speak for a little bit. I don't go back to work till Wednesday, so I got all day to do everything.
Okay,
so we can talk a little more. I like these interviews.
Yeah, of course. So I guess something I wanted to touch on was sort of like you've got a few haters, shall we say, in the sport, particularly one being Mark Navarro. Have you got a particular message for any of those guys?
Yes, fucking say it to my motherfucking face outside of somewhere. I'm not an athlete. Like, I'm not one of these pro guys that went to college and comes from a family of like stockbrokers, and I got a big bank account with real estate behind me, and I went to school. I come from prison and jail, and I sell drugs, and I sit outside motherfucker's house with a ski mask on, waiting for you to come out to kill you type shit. So say it to my face. You don't like me. You don't like something about me. Come up to me, not in front of 100 motherfucking security guards at the event, because I'm going to be nice to the event. Walk around the block with me, and I got no problem killing you then in there. And the jail system is weak over in the UK. What are you going to do, deport me, and you'll be fucking dead? Say it to my motherfucking face. That's my mentality. All these people talk. A lot of them get real disrespectful. If you don't like me and you think I suck, that's cool. I'll laugh with you. But when they start getting into like insulting my ex-girlfriend, insulting my family, saying they'll kill me, they're going to smash my face in. I got my throat cut up. I got fucking attempts on my life. You threaten to smash my head in, that's a death threat. So now I'm going to aim to kill you. Not beat you up. I want to fucking kill you. And if you're with your girl, I want to kill her. And if you're with your kids, I want to kill them. Like, you're going to threaten my life, faggot? Fucking do it then. That's my fucking, that's my message. Come say it to my motherfucking face and see what happens. Let's see who walks away. That's that. About Mark, that whole thing started because he was calling my friend Tyler out to a fight. And he was complaining about the weight he set. And I made a comment about how does that make sense? And then Mark starts making fun of me. Like, Mark, shut the fuck up. I can't even say me and Mark are similar, because when I lose, I'll say, okay, Ricky beat me. Want to know what my excuse is? He was in better shape and he hit harder and he could do more output. Want to know what Mark's excuse is on all his losses? He didn't really lose. He was robbed. No. Sean George beat me. Want to know why? Probably because he threw more punches and attacked me more. I hit him more, but he attacked more and controlled the pace of the fight. So he won. Leeson beat me. after I knocked him down because he got up and he did not get hit again, and he fucked my face up. He banged my face off for 3 rounds. Where's my excuse? Where's my jet lag excuse? It doesn't exist. Mark is not like me. He's a fucking phony. And he can't fight either. I'm sick of fucking everyone talking about how, oh, he fought the best. So fucking what? So did I. I fought George twice. You didn't see my face get turned inside out. I fought Nelder, and I suffered an eye injury. I'm not making any excuses. Fuck that fool. And fuck his fans, too. It's personal because they get real personal with me. So I get real personal back. Since everything's been tense here, I'm going to say this. I'll be coming over to England a lot more, and I just might take a trip up to Dundee and sit in the town center and let everybody know I'm there. What's anyone going to do about it? I fly all over the world myself. Even here, I'll go places myself. I don't need anyone behind me. Whatever. If I die, cool, then I don't got to pay car insurance no more.
Awesome. Right, that was fantastic. Thank you so much, Eric, for giving me your time, and hope to speak to you soon again, my friend.
Definitely. Later, man. Bye-bye.
Cheers, buddy.